Oh man, what is going on, y'all? Shout out to you for coming through. It's your boy 1PTA. Oh man, today's lesson is we have to become I see this so much, and it's true. Don't fight me on this, y'all. Don't fight me. The children become the parents, and the parents become the children. Shout out to you if you're new here. Physical therapist assistant, teaching nursing home lessons. Oh man, please y'all, please don't fight me on this, y'all. Don't fight me on this, okay? Shout out to all you baby boomers out there. Shout out to all you kids taking care of mom and dad, trying to guide mom and dad. Let me ask you this question, right? Do you remember when you first had your kid and your kid became a toddler and that toddler wanted to do everything bad that he wasn't supposed to do? That toddler wanted to run out in the street. That toddler wanted to jump out of the tree. Your kid wanted to do things that it wasn't supposed to do. What would you do? You would discipline them, right? You wouldn't let them do those bad things out of love. You would tell them to do, good things. You would tell them to be safe. You would look out for them. You would make sure, if they fell down, you would clean their little bruise up, put a Band-Aid on it, maybe kiss the little boo-boo. You remember those days? You were doing that stuff out of love, right? Because you cared for your child when they were younger and they didn't know the dangers that they were in. They did not know the dangers that were in front of them, some of the things that they were doing. They didn't know. They were just exploring the world, They had no idea. You were doing it out of love because you cared for their health, safety, and well-being. And you wanted to look out for them. You didn't want them to run out in the street, get hit by a car. You didn't want them to ride their bike without a helmet. Well, that's all we did was ride without helmets. But anyway, you didn't want them to, climb up in that tree too high and fall. Things like that. Jumping on the bed, jumping from the bed to the dresser, and jumping off the dresser onto the bed because they was gonna break something, they was gonna break their skull, right? You did it out of love. Do you know that role reverses as you get older? Did y'all know that? Shout out to all the baby boomers. Shout out to the people who are in their 40s and 50s looking after mom and dad and doing the same thing that mom and dad used to do to us. That is trying to look out for their health, safety, and well-being, right? That is trying to prevent them from the dangers that befall their old age. I get put in the middle of these types of situations a lot, where the children are now the parents and the parents are the children. But the problem lies, usually, or not usually, I'm gonna say probably 65 to 70% of the time, the problem in this scenario lies when the parent is not ready to become the child. Is not ready to give up their quote-unquote independence and listen to their kid. Well, what I'm gonna tell you what this video is, please, I'm not completely siding with the kid, because I'm that kid. I'm that 40-year-old looking after mom, okay? I'm that kid. I'm not telling you to I'm not saying I completely side with the kid. I am saying there needs to be some understanding. There needs to be some reasoning. There needs to be some middle ground. There needs to be a halfway point that can be met, and understood. Let me give you an example. I had a lady, she was in her 80s. This was years ago. Nice lady, ouch. Nice lady years ago in her 80s, right? She lived with her daughter, who was a nurse, okay? You with me? Lived with her daughter who was a nurse. This lady, when I tell you this was the perfect role reversal, this was the perfect role reversal where the kid becomes a parent and the parent becomes a kid. This lady told me she hardly does anything without her daughter's permission. And I don't mean to say it like, she can't do anything, like breathe. She can't even take a step. She was just saying when it comes to her safety, because she has so many falls at home. Now, when it comes to her safety, she listens to her daughter, who is the nurse, who has been taking care of her, who has been guiding her, who has been trying to keep her safe, trying to keep her off the floor from falling. She's had so many falls. She was actually in the facility for a fall. She fell back into the refrigerator, boom, and slid down and hit the floor. Now she's in a nursing home. Well, this wasn't a nursing home. This is acute care. Now she's in a facility for rehab, but she tells me she listens to everything her daughter tells her. When it comes to taking medications, when it comes to, her daughter keeps track of her appointments and things. Her daughter is like the boss, and she even said it. She jokingly said it to me. She was like, she's the mama now. I listen to her. If she tells me not to do it, I'm not doing it. And I was surprised to hear this because I don't hear this often. I typically hear, they think they the boss. They ain't my boss. They think they the parent. They think they're gonna tell me what to do. I hear that 90% of the time. So to see a situation like this where the patient, the 83-year-old woman or the 80-year-old woman is receptive of this role reversal. And it does become a role reversal for people who have children that care about them. When your child cares, the roles reverse. And you might take it as the child is now trying to be the boss, trying to tell me what to do. I want to do for myself. I want to do things my way, stuff like that. But the child is simply looking out for your health, safety, and well-being. I went through this personally with my mother. My mother was one of those people having a lot of falls, having a lot of health issues, problems with managing medication. So me and my brothers, we had to step in and, help her out. And we all determined, hey, you need some help, Mom. You need some help. And we are trying to look out for you. Certain things you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. When you got a serious fall history, you probably shouldn't be ordering the high heels off of Temu. The cheap high heels off of Temu. Because you fall a lot. You probably shouldn't be wearing certain things. You probably should use a cane. You probably should use a walker. You probably don't want to carry big purses or bags anymore because they now weigh you down and they now throw you off balance. So you got to switch things up from the norm that you've been used to for these last, 30 or 40 years. You can't do things like you used to do. And you don't notice it. But guess who notices it? Your children, the ones who care for you and look out for you. I see this so much in nursing homes where the child is the caregiver and mom and dad don't want to listen. Dad wants to eat whatever he wants and wants to live a sedentary lifestyle, but the kid who's taking care of him, the kid who's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, is trying to encourage dad to be a little bit more healthier, a little bit more safer. Keeping track of doctor's appointments, keeping track of pills, keeping track of things like that. We don't think about that. So this video is about the role reversal. So I'm encouraging you, if you're going through this, I'm gonna encourage both sides, okay? Let's start with the patient side. The mom or the dad that now has to go back to being the child and has to listen to somebody tell them what to do and be bossed around. And I know that's how you think it is. It's not like that. Like I told you the scenario back when your children were little, you're trying to keep them safe because you love them. Your children are trying to keep you safe because they got love for you. It's not even their responsibility to care for you. It's not. It is a moral obligation. It's a moral obligation for them to look out for you in your old age because they love you, because you did it for them when they were little. Okay? So, I would encourage you, if you're older and you see this video, or you can send this video to somebody who is older, who may be going through this, because it's tough. I know it's not easy. I would just encourage you to understand that it's out of love. If your child was trying to get you to exercise and you're getting tired of them getting on you about exercising, about quitting smoking, about quitting drinking, or trying not to drink as much, it's out of love, man. They're doing this because they love and care for you. Okay? So, it is a little bit of a role reversal. They're now taking on the parent role. And a lot of them got kids themselves. So they in the middle, They in the middle. They got to care for their kids and they got to care for, mom and dad. I'll make a whole nother video about that. That's the sandwich generation. We are the sandwich generation. Did you know that? We in the middle of children and parents. I know I'm part of that. But that is my encouragement for the parent. Just know that your child loves you, trying to look out for you, trying to do what's best for you because you did it for them when they were little. Now, from the child's aspect, if you're like me, and I've made some mistakes in my caring for mom too. I've made some mistakes. Things got heated at times, tempers flared at certain things. Some things I do regret saying the way I said it. My mother always had a problem with the way I said things. She'd always tell me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Don't boss me around, don't tell me what to do like I'm a child. She would say like I'm a child. So I would encourage you to learn from me and my mistake if you are caring for your parent. Understand that even though they're doing things that may be detrimental to them and you care and you want to help them, you got to understand they are still technically your parent and they're still technically grown, so there's an aspect of their mind that says that you can't tell me anything to do. You can't tell me what to do. You are not the boss of me. I'm my own person. You got to understand that we're talking about decades and decades of independence. Decades and decades of independence and doing what they want and crafting their own life and forging their own path and making their own decisions. Now you tell me I got to listen to my child try to tell me what to do? Do you know how hard and difficult that is? So learn from me. And me and my mother, we've argued and then made up plenty of times. I'm talking arguments and then hugs and kisses, arguments and then hugs and kisses, mainly because of her safety. She's had a lot of falls. So I'm just trying to keep her safe, But for the most part, we would always make up and come back around to that conversation of, Mom, I'm just trying to help you out because I care for you. Oh, I know you do. This is my mom. I know, but I'm still my own person. So there has to be a middle ground. You got to find that middle ground. You got to try not to be overbearing with it because this can be, hard emotionally and, mentally for them because they're already dealing with getting older. That right there can be, mentally and emotionally hard to deal with and stressful and make them anxious, especially if they're dealing with falls. You don't want to, be falling and hurting yourself and then your child trying to, tell you what to do. It's a hard thing to deal with. So you got to look at it from both aspects, right? I get in the middle of these kinds of arguments and situations a lot. So, because I see this so much and I've been through it myself, learn from me, man. You gotta try to talk respectfully, try to reason instead of arguing. You understand? Mom, I don't want to argue with you. I'm not mad at you, but I care for you and I love you and I don't want to see anything happen to you. As opposed to, you need to use your walker, or you need to exercise, or you need to eat more, or you need to drink more water, as opposed to that. You feel me? Am I making sense? But anyway, yeah, just wanted to make a video about that, man, because I know this is a thing. And like I said, we are a generation that are coming up on caring for mom and dad. So we gotta be, we gotta be respectful in the way we do it. And it goes both ways. And you parents out there gotta understand, we looking out for y'all. We are trying our best to keep you safe out of the love that you shown us when we were little. So the roles do reverse. They do. Sorry to tell you. I look forward to the role reversal. I can't wait till my kids can take care of me, look out for me, chauffeur me around. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, just wanted to make a video about that because I dealt with a little bit last week. The patient and their child going at it. Had to get in the middle and break it up. And anyway, y'all, that's the video for today. Oh, I don't like it getting dark earlier. Not feeling it. It's like not even 5 o'clock. But anyway, y'all stay tuned. Make sure you respect your elders, man. Y'all be cool, be safe, be good human beings, be nice to each other. And I will holler at y'all in the next video. Make sure you comment. Let me know your thoughts on this, all right?